is something we need. It's a leap of faith, a step away from the comfort zone and be a little brave. So take a look around you. How far can you see? How far do you think you can run, standing on your knees? It's a beautiful world out there, just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. It can be a bit frightening, with something you don't know. You need a little enlightening, it'll make you grow. It's a beautiful world out there, just don't pass on the day.
I am so tired right now. Like, everyone thinks holidays are relaxing, and sometimes they can be, but the city breaks are not relaxing, at least not when you actually explore things. And I know this is an incredibly unflattering shot right now. I don't care. I have spent today in Sintra. Absolutely worth it. It's stunning. Like, it's a little town up like in the countryside, on the mountain, on the hill, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely beautiful. But I am so tired. I think I need a holiday from this holiday when I get home. Yeah, it's just been a long day, so I caught the train at 9 o'clock this morning from Rossio station, which is only a 5-minute walk away, but it's a 40-minute train ride into Sintra. I did a walking tour around the historical town and then got the bus up to Pena Palace. Never ever walk it. There are a couple of Germans who my friend knows who walked it, and they're insane. And even driving up, like, the roads are really tight and tiny and winding, and I got very dizzy. And then we spent a solid afternoon going around the palace, so I didn't pay to go into the palace. There's 2 different tickets. One is for the palace inside and outside, which is about €15, or you can spend €7.50 for just the park ticket. But with the park ticket you can actually get up onto all the terraces and balconies. I'm really scared of heights. This is not great, but look how beautiful it is. From what I've heard, the interior isn't that great, but it is breathtaking. The views go for miles. You could see over to the coast, and the castle itself is just gorgeous. The bright colours, there's so many different styles all thrown in together. So it was King Ferdinand who made it for his wife, who was the Queen of Portugal. Ferdinand was actually originally from Germany, and he married into the royal family. So he made it for his wife, who never actually saw it finished because she died a year before it was completed. Died giving birth to her 11th child. Go figure. So yeah, he wanted it to kind of represent Portugal, and her idea, what it means to be Portuguese, is to be from everywhere but from nowhere. And that's nicer than it sounds, but I think because of the country's history, because it's just had so much influence from so many different cultures. You've got the Moors and that side, and the Arabic side, that's had a huge influence. Knights Templar from the rest of Europe who came in, who played a massive role in founding the country and getting the right territories for them. You've got English influence, you've got German influence. It's really a melting pot, and you can still see that in the city today. But he wanted this palace to have all these different things, and it really does. So the red part, that's quite typical of the style here in Lisbon. So the Belém Tower, which I saw day before, Tuesday. So the tower in the water, that's very typical of the Portuguese style of the Discovery era, and the red part was modelled on that. The yellow part was more modelled after the traditional castles in Europe, so Ferdinand from what is now Germany took that influence for that part. You've got the golden domes that show the Moorish influence, as well as all the blue tiles and the tribute to Poseidon. So much going on, absolutely beautiful. And then we took like a long slow walk back down through the gardens. The gardens span, I think, 800 hectares or something crazy. 100 hectares, a lot, a big amount of space. There's a lot of forest. When the voyagers went out, they brought back different things from all around the world. So you've got fern native to New Zealand and Australia that are in there. You've got different things from the Americas brought back. It's insane, but it's really beautiful. And you go down to the bottom and there's just 5 little lakes in a row, and duck houses that are nicer than my house and bigger pretty much. It's a really lovely place, and you can spend a whole day just getting lost in the gardens. You can do day trips. I recommend spending a full day in Sintra. A lot of tour companies and my hostel do a trip that includes Sintra, Cabo de Roca and Cascais. But to me that seems like an awful lot. I'd say if you have the time, spend a full day in Sintra. And in that you can still only do like 2 things by the time you get there and get up the hill. Like I did a walking tour in the morning followed by Pena Palace. My friend went to one of the palaces in the centre, followed by Pena. And there's loads more that I would love to have seen but just didn't have the time. So I had to prioritise what I wanted to see. But yeah, I definitely recommend a day there. However, it is exhausting, so be prepared, wear some comfortable shoes, and just be prepared for a lot more hills, because that's what this country is made on, and I love it so much. But yeah, tonight is just going to be a chill, very much chill and sleep. The hostel's running like a bacalhau night, which is the traditional cod, so I might join that. But again, they don't start till 9 o'clock. It's 6:30. I am shattered. So if I don't fall asleep before then, I'll probably join. But yeah, tomorrow is my last day in Lisbon. I'm going to head down to Cascais, which is like on the beach. It's one of the most popular beach resorts just outside the city. I'm really hoping the weather will brighten up. Today was brighter than yesterday. We didn't have the yellow sky, however it was still very cloudy. So I'm hoping just this last bit I'll just get a little burst of sunshine so I can lie on a beach for an hour at least and call that a little holiday from my holiday. But yeah, I'll catch up with you later. Good morning, you wonderful people. Today is sadly my last day here in Portugal, but the sun has finally come out and I couldn't be happier. I've gone classic Brit, shorts and t-shirt, pasty legs. Everyone else is still wearing like coats and trousers and jeans, but I don't care. It's about 20 degrees, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I am happy and I'm on the beach. I'm in Cascais, which is about half-hour train ride from the centre of Lisbon. Yeah, it's really easy to get to. It is lovely. So what I'm going to do is grab a coffee first and foremost, because I am still very tired. It's been a really good but a very exhausting week, and I just want to spend today relaxing in the sun on the beach. So I'm going to start with caffeine and then take a good long walk around, and I'll just take you with me and just enjoy this last bit of freedom.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in all conversations, cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken, cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. close, no, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors.
This view, absolutely stunning. I could honestly just sit and watch the waves crash against the rock for hours. So I've come up to Bothnia, which is just a little bit further, but you can walk just along the main path, or there's like little tracks and steps carved into all the rocks, so it feels a bit more wild, a bit more of an adventure than just walking along the road. But it is lovely, and the weather has turned out perfect for today. So yeah, it's a very, very nice last day.
And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
I found my happy place. Oh, honestly, this weather, this is going to be really unflattering, but it's more comfortable. The sun is out, the water is very fresh, but I have been for a paddle, so oh, honestly, it's so nice. I think it's just what I needed at the end of this week. I went for lunch in the main town. There's lots of little restaurants around. It's a very touristy town. Unsurprisingly, it's more of a resort. It's not always a bad thing, but yeah, everywhere was just pretty much the same. So I went to a restaurant called Flamingo. I was planning on getting like just a big piece of fish, because when on the beach you've got to eat seafood. I was tempted to get a fresh one, but then on the menu I saw cod strips with Portuguese fries, onions and like a cream sauce, which intrigued me, so that's what I ordered. I wasn't quite expecting this. So yeah, I was definitely expecting like strips of fish like on a plate with some chips, not a kind of risotto made with, you know, like the little chipsticks, like the really thin long crisps that you get in the cheap part of Tesco. It was like that, but cooked into a risotto style. Don't get me wrong, it was quite nice. It was just definitely not what I was expecting. So yeah, just gonna spend my last afternoon chilling, probably napping on the beach. Did not bring sun cream, so I'm gonna have regrets later, but for now it's fine, I don't care. So I'm gonna chill here for a bit and I'll catch you later. Wanted to pop on and do like a little roundup of my trip. So I spent 5.5 days in Lisbon. I think it's a really good amount of time to spend here. I know some people kind of, when I first got here, were like, oh, that's an awfully long time. I think it's a nice amount to do everything, including a couple of days out, and not push yourself too much, because it's a city break. It's not necessarily a relaxing holiday, and if you want to see all the sights, which for me that's the kind of travel I enjoy, then it's actually quite tiring, and I feel like I need a holiday from a holiday, and like relax before I go back to work. So today is perfect. I'm really glad I've come to Lisbon, come to Portugal. It's been a really lovely time, but I don't know that I would necessarily come back here, because I think I have seen it all. Obviously you can never see everything, but I've seen enough. I've seen what I wanted to see, I had a day out to Sintra yesterday, a day in Cascais today, so yeah, it's been a good mixture of quite intense walking and doing a lot of things, and also taking a bit of time for myself. And you can definitely do it in less time, like 2 or 3 days. I think with 5 days I had like 1 day in the middle where I didn't really have big plans, and it was perfect for me because even though I still did things and I went into a museum that I wasn't really expecting to go into, I spent more time climbing right up to the top of the city. But I wouldn't have done those if I didn't have that extra day, because when you do walking tour followed by walking tour followed by walking around, like, it gets exhausting. I would have it no other way. Just know your limits, know what pace you want to go at. A couple of things to bear in mind while you're here would be the weather. Like, Portugal is lovely and warm normally. It's March. Today we're really lucky, but it's been quite cloudy over the last few days, which, like, don't get me wrong, the views have still been lovely, but it's not been as good as it could have been. But the nicer the weather, the more busy and popular it gets, and places like this especially, I can imagine in summer, will be absolute chaos. So take into account the time of year that you travel. It's a city that's not really designed for rain, so all the pavements are really stunning. They're beautiful, like mosaic style, different patterns, which looks great, but they can get really uneven, very slippery, especially when wet, so make sure you have non-slip shoes. Otherwise you will go skiing down some of the hills. My final thing would be to make sure you get one of these. If you're getting the train from the airport, you'll probably have to get one anyway. The metro station goes straight from the airport to Bothnia, and that's a big square in the centre, and like my hostel's 5 minutes away, as is a lot of accommodation. It's a reloadable card, so the card itself costs 50 cents, and then you can just top it up with however much you want. I started with €10, I topped up about 5 the other day just because I knew I was doing a few more trips out. If I've planned it just right, it will just about last me to the airport tomorrow. So useful. It's like an Oyster card, you just tap it as you go in. You can use it on the buses, on the metro, on the trams, on the trains to get to places like Sintra and Cascais. So yeah, it's really, really useful. Definitely recommend getting one. Thank you for watching my video and sticking all the way to the end. I know it's probably going to be really long and it's going to take me a long time to go through all this footage, but I'm really looking forward to it and seeing and really holding on to those memories, because it's been a fantastic trip. So yeah, thank you very much. If you liked these videos, please like it and subscribe if you want more stuff like this. It won't always be holidays, unfortunately, but I'll try to include different bits of my life and travels and days out that I get up to, and then hopefully I'll bring you some more adventures in the future. If you've been to Lisbon or you have any suggestions or anything you particularly liked, leave me a comment down below as well, and it would be greatly appreciated.